So 7.9 bonus updates. All right. So we already went over the 10. Some new skins. That Uller looks... Uller every game. Bro, that skin looks insane. The best Uller skin out, no doubt. Blobisk Bacchus. Sick skin. Love these two skins. Dark Lord Chalk. Wow. Their art team is incredible. Code Eater Baka looks pretty sick. Gambit Queen Hera. Pretty cool. Wow. All these skins really, really, really amazing. I mean, wow. Alrighty, so we're going to go over and try to get this done. Ama, decrease base damage from 70 to 30, 310 on the dash, scaling all the way down, early game weaker, just 10 across the board. Just a small little change. Decrease base damage on dazzling offense from 80 to 80, 120, 240, 260. Okay, these are big changes because this hits 3 times, right? So we're going to go 20 drop, that's 60 damage on the alt nerf. Pretty big. I think it's going to hurt Ama. Ama definitely needed to be nerfed. I agree. Decrease base damage from 100 to 100, 320 to 3. All right, so 20 damage in the late game. Big nerf on the Cthulhu 3, which I felt like was doing a lot of damage, and decrease the scaling a bit. Nice changes. I'm agreeing with all these changes as up to now. Decrease the physical power scaling from the heal to 25 to 20% per heart, 75 to 60%. Nice. I called this out. They needed to nerf this. Low-key, his healing was insane. Freya, decreased damage on her ult. 100 to 90 early, 240, 230, 10 across the board, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. And that doesn't hurt her too bad because her 2 is OP still, but nice little tweak. Hun bots increased cooldown from 110 to 90 to 120 to 10 seconds across the board. Yep. They reverted it. They realized it was too strong, and now they're upping it a little bit. Good changes, little by little. And Rama needs to be nerfed to the ground. Decrease slow duration from 2 seconds to 1.5. It should be 1 second in my opinion. So Rama gets hit small. Humbots gets hit pretty decent. Freya gets hit kind of... It's okay hit. Cubic gets hit pretty hard in my opinion. Cthulhu gets hit pretty hard. And Ama got hit pretty hard. Nice changes all around the board. The skins carry it. Hey guys, it's Leon here. Thank you for supporting my YouTube dream. If you want to continue to do so, every video you can click my 2 sponsored links in the description. Just open the links and close them. Thanks for the love. Alright, so we got some new skins. 7.10 update. Loki! You excited about that or what? Let's check out these skins first. Medusa, Gummyware Medusa. Pretty sick. Sniper Tech Raw. I feel like they have like 14 versions of that skin. Primal Spirit Cern. Nice. Vampire Sama. I like. Pumpkin Spice Discordia. I feel like there's a bunch of skins that look like that. Stealth Slayer Loki. Oh, it's a standard recolor. Okay. Loki Rework. We've been waiting for this for like 2 years and a half. Kappa Pride. Maybe 6 years if you're me. Loki fan and haters. Loki fans. 7 people. Okay, so let's just check out the real changes here. Increase basic attack damage on initial hit from 80 to 100% damage. The first hit is 100. Behind you now has additional interactions with Agonizing Vision and Flurry Strike. Okay. Vanish. Loki will now fade into stealth quickly rather than instantly. Okay, so he's not instant biz. That's big. If Loki takes damage while stealth, he'll be revealed for 0.33 seconds. So tick damage is now really good versus Loki. Crusher. I mean, just like it is versus Morrigan and AO and every other Invis character, Kappa. The audio visibility has been adjusted. Nice. Friendly Loki stealth is slightly quieter. Enemy Loki stealth has an additional laughter component to help it stand out. That's gonna be big. We need to hear this. So we're going to go over the stats and everything, and then we're going to go over the actual gameplay that they showed on stream. Decoy has been removed and replaced with Agonizing Vision. All right. New Agonizing Vision. Loki summons a vision of his tortured past at a target location for 4 seconds. Enemies in the range of the vision feel the poison themselves, taking damage and having their damage dealt reduced. This effect stacks up to 4 times. If an enemy gets 4 stacks, they become blinded, allowing Loki to benefit from behind you from any direction for 3 seconds. Blinded, allowing Loki benefits behind you. Okay, so you get the passive from just hitting them. Damage, 13/18, 23, 33, 10% of your physical power. Scale that. Wow, that scaling is nothing. That tick damage. How many times does it tick though? This ability will still body block enemies. Cool. Aim strike has been removed and replaced with flurry strikes. Cool. Now we got two new damage abilities. Loki unleashes a flurry of 5 dagger strikes quickly in front of him, damaging enemies, and after this flurry, he winds up for a final heavy strike that deals higher damage and slows enemies hit. This ability can benefit from behind you. Flurry damage, 15, 45 scaling up, 15%, low scaling, final damage. Okay, so double scale, final one. So the final one's really important because it scales. So when you have items, obviously you want this to be hitting. Slows 30% for 3 seconds, pretty long slow. Okay, this looks like a good chunk of damage. It looks like it's real damage now. Assassinate has undergone a heavy adjustment in its functionality. Upon activation, Loki teleports to his ground target location. If enemy god is within the radius, Loki will slice that target, doing damage and crippling them for 1 second. Very short cripple. After he teleports, he will wind up a heavier strike, damaging all enemies in front of him and stunning them. Cripple damage, heavy damage. Wow, that's a lot of scaling. Stuns 1 second. This ability has kept the teleport poof and warning sounds in addition to new sounds and convey the build up to the stun attack. Cool. All right, let's watch this for real. Yo, what up, A1 Slick? What up, Captain Pento? What's up, Chatterinos? Nice to see you guys. Yo, Brennick. All right, so here we're going to rewatch it. We're going to watch this on Twitch chat. Let's see what's up.
Just talk about some of the new abilities and how the passive intertwines with those new abilities. So first off, before we hop into those, let's talk about Vanish just a little bit. Of course, this was all explained kind of in the blog post that we put out earlier in the year. But Loki, of course, will now fade into stealth. But now, if Loki takes damage while he is stealth, he's now going to be revealed for a short time.
So you can see right here, I hit the Loki.
There we go.
Okay.
If he stealths, he will actually go, you'll see him for a little bit, and if you hit him with any source of damage, he'll be a little bit revealed. Good players are familiar with tracking the damage numbers. This little bit of extra visibility will help players learn that mechanic without giving too much away for the Loki player.
Okay, that's nice.
For sure. So just a short amount of time, if he takes damage while he is in stealth, he's got the little shadowy aura that appears in place of his actual model.
All right, so that's way better for the invis.
Let's talk about decoy into agonizing.
That's a ton.
No longer going to be the
that's
ability.
Really good.
It is being made into a new ability called agonizing vision. And Pon, what's going on with this?
That's a big AoE.
Yep, so Agonizing Vision is now, rather than a dot that aggro or a deployable that aggroes minions and then does an explosion, it does damage over time to anyone standing in it and reduces the damage they deal when they're poisoned.
That's a fast tick. I like it.
If they stay too long in it, they become blinded, and you can actually benefit from behind you with any direction. So you can see I'm actually getting the behind you bonus damage even in front of this Odin after he's been blinded. And just so you can kind of see the blind, we'll have the Loki over here.
You're talking about he sounds like a robot Zudi? That's a pretty cool ability. Yeah,
it definitely obscures your vision, but you can still see things. So you can still make things, but you might miss things in the chaos of a fight.
For sure, it's like
that blocks your vision for real. What is that? That's a lot of blocked vision.
It's been dripping on his face. Now it's your turn to have a little bit of what he's been going through.
And one also
the theme of this system.
That's what do you mean? You might miss an ability. That blinds you a ton.
Different things and seeing the different effects and different post-process effects is a really cool job done by the effects team.
For sure, I didn't even think about that.
This one is really strong.
That's a really cool ability.
I like the idea that we were able to bring in lore ties, which traditionally Loki's base kit actually didn't really have super strong lore ties what he does in lore, but this lets you kind of see what he went through and underwent, and just the vision of seeing it, you feel that pain, so it's like shared pain. You understand more.
Raw's blind is definitely better.
Definitely.
You can empathize a little bit with the Loki players, what you're saying.
Yep.
Nah, they really made blind you, Captain.
Right, let's talk about aimed strike, now flurry strike.
Raw's a flashbang.
Loki is now going to unleash a flurry of daggers, 5 strikes really quickly. Pon, if you want to show off the ability and if you guys want to go.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. So
I like
aimed
that.
strike specifically when one of the problems that Loki had previously was he could stealth onto someone, auto attack, and then use aim strike to get that immediate reset to do another burst of damage. And that burst window was very hard to deal with. It was very hard to understand what was even happening to you. So now it's more of a longer duration channel clear ability that does damage if you can stay on the target longer. So it's 5 rapid strikes into a final big wind-up strike.
Do you lose movement speed when you're doing it? It doesn't look like you lose movement speed.
You can also see a cool interaction is from the front, I do normal damage, and from the back, I do behind you damage. So this ability not only synergizes with the passive now, and is better clear for jungle or wave clear, but it also, if you do something like this where you blind someone, you can get the behind you proc from the front. So there's a lot more kit synergy inside the
That's pretty sick.
I love that.
Yo, KY with the 50 months, baby.
There's a lot of things, there's like we're saying, there's this kit synergy with these new abilities.
Yeah, that kit synergy is really something that Loki needed.
Stuff with the blog post.
All right,
the new
I want to see the old now.
Tons of enemies. It's there for a completely
big
different
50
aspect.
months from my man KY.
It's not this instant strike of damage. It's spread out.
Well, something he's gonna be really bad at jungle clear though, because everything's gonna be facing him. Oh no, but you can crit it with your 2.
For sure. And I mean, it's not to say that, you know, the new flurry strike doesn't deal a whole lot of
But yeah, that means you have to use 2 abilities to clear.
If you get the full channel off, especially from behind you, it does some damage. So try and interrupt Loki, try and get away. Use your Aegis to avoid the final hit, especially.
Yeah, the final hit scale is crazy.
Loki's still very lethal, that's for sure.
For sure. Well, speaking of being lethal, let's go ahead and talk about Assassinate, the ultimate ability. So Assassinate.
Let's see this big boy ult change.
Pretty big adjustments here. It's now a kind of like 2-part ability with a teleport and into a secondary hit that now does an AoE stun. And I'll let Pon take it away and show it off, and we'll talk about it.
So there's people around? Oh, is it everybody in front?
See, he does the very similar things that he did
before.
Before,
Wow, that's pretty sick.
Onto a target. You can aim it, you can teleport anywhere you want to, and when you lock on the target, you do an initial bit of damage. This initial bit of damage, rather than stunning like it previously did, now cripples, so the target can't leap away immediately.
So,
but most of the damage and the harder CC is actually on the follow-up hit.
So it's a cripple and then a stun at the end.
Kind of like wind up.
So the only point to actually land on them is to cripple.
These are the things that you want to try and avoid or Aegis or try and beats to get out of. One unique thing that Loki now brings is this is actually a pretty big stun area. So you can see there, I jump on this Odin. Maybe I want to stun this target. I can freely aim that.
Yeah, that's
I
nice.
jump on this Odin, I can
Loki's much funner,
or
more balanced.
If I entirely miss, I could jump to where I need to be in the team.
Loki looks like he'd be pretty strong.
And aim it to try and hit as many targets as I can.
That blind, slow, stun, cripple.
For people who are playing against it. But Loki gets a lot of extra utility out of this. He can team fight if people are clumped up in really clever ways. He can force people to move together with this poison field.
Loki feels so much better. Wow, I'm so proud of them.
A bunch of stuns off.
There's some nice changes.
Theme, extra control for Loki, extra telegraph for enemies to play around, new utility that he brings. So it's not just a perceived nerf for the feeling of things coming out a bit slower. He gets extra tools to make up for that feel more fair to play around.
Yeah, this feels much better.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like he's got, you know, just some more or different engage opportunities off of his ultimate now, which is really cool.
We'll see how good his damage is. So the biggest thing for me right now is how big is his damage. If his damage is really good,
showing off the just a little bit more.
His scaling looked really good.
Guys. Now that we've gone through kind of most
but
of the rework,
I want to see the damage with certain spikes.
Where do you guys see Loki now post the 7.10 update? Where do you think his playstyle is going to be? And
definitely
in
jungle.
Recommend?
So we've messed around a lot because we know that the place that he currently plays right now is kind of like this weird solo or supporty build because his jungle clear isn't quite good enough, and he uses like his split pushing. We've played him around in the solo lane, we played him in the support role, we played him in the jungle, and with this extra clear from Flurry Strike being a pretty effective clear tool, the 2 also being an effective clear tool because now it's not a pet, it actually benefits from things like Assassin's Blessing. His wave clear is a little bit more consistent. You can kind of brawl with people and not just rely on decoy.
It's definitely jungle now.
I do think he's going to fall mostly to the jungle role.
Yeah.
Cool. What about you, Clumsy?
Yeah, I feel similarly. We've given him tries and playtests both in the jungle role and solo. I think one of our primary goals was definitely to make sure that he could thrive in the jungle, and I would say that would be the
that's definitely what they did.
Give him a try in.
Yeah.
Just like Pon said, the abilities 3 and 2 can now clear the jungle pretty effectively.
This
previously,
looks really cool.
Each one had a different purpose.
What up?
And his gank potential is still extremely high. It may not be as much of in a burst, but over time, it's probably actually doing even more damage.
Yeah, more damage over time. His DPS is higher.
That's the most important thing. You don't feel as singularly, close down when you've used all your abilities in that
DPS.
one
All right, so
battlefields on like 1 HP. You can
DPS definitely feels really good late game. He looks like he can definitely scale late game. Definitely a jungler 100%. So let's check out the rest of the 7.10 update. They're going to be doing some stuff to Atlantis Bow, decreasing attack speed from 30 to 25%. I feel like that was coming. Atlantis Bow nerf was definitely coming. It was super OP. And decrease the movement speed while attacking and strafing from 40 to 30%. A little bit less on the passive when you get an assist and or kill someone. And then just flat base stats, 5% less. Silver Branch decrease attack speed from 35 to 30%. Small little change. Is still a really good item. Gladiator. I saw a lot of people tweeting about this. Saw a lot of hype on this. 100 gold less, and passive change damage dealt from 15 plus 2 per level to 15 plus 35% of your total protections from item, magical, physical items, abilities. Increase bonus damage activation threshold from 50 to 60%. So do full prots and then you do damage? Question mark. 35. So 15 and 35% of your. What are the? I gotta run the numbers on this. Plus 220 plus 2 per level, so 40 max, meaning 55 was max before. And now 15, 35%, you have 200 prots. 60, 70, 70, 70, 85. 85. Dude, my webcam has been freezing a lot, bro. It's been annoying me. And now I'm an alien. All right. Sorry about that. So yeah, this is definitely way better. This is crazy. And they lowered the cost. Glad is back. Emperor's armor increased physical protection from 40 to 50. Just trying to get more people to build the item. Trying to give some base stats to make it people actually pick it up. That's nice. Nice buff. Could be using more. Increased protection is required per block stack from 100 to 120. Just nerfing a little bit harder. Because they nerfed higher than Nemean, so you need actual procs to get the block stack. So mages and hunters just can't pick it up for free, as well as assassins. And now it costs more, so you need 240 physical procs, or just procs if I'm not mistaken, to get the 2 block stacks. So they just made it a little bit more, so you need more procs, even more. So you just can't go like full HP and still get a ton of block stacks. Disperse on Hearst 3, decrease setup time from 0.275 to 0.15. That's a big change, I feel. And decrease leap time from 0.96, so it's just quicker. It's kind of like a Neath change on the backflip. This is nice. I really enjoy this because on Hearst jump is really predictable. Decrease setup time from 0.23 to 0.5. Same thing. Dash time, nice. You travel the same distance in less time and starts traveling quicker. These are 2 changes because the game was much different when these 2 characters were dropped about like 7 seasons ago or 6. So actually no, 7. So it feels good to have some nice changes on the time, noticing that these little, these other characters' jumps are not slow or not predictable. They're way faster. And so, helping out the old carries, the OG carries. I like it. Big. Now provides what? What? How long is this? It's raw heal. Raw heal on Ares. What? Not raw heal really, but that's crazy. 30 HP 5. It's going to be sick on objectives. So much better than prots because prots, very situational. That prots are better. The HP 5 is going to be 90% of the time. It's always going to be good. You're just giving your team a ton of heals, a ton of sustain around objectives. Wow, I like this change. It might be a little bit overtuned with the numbers, in my opinion, but I really like the change. I like where it's going. Big Ares change, bro. Wow. So Artsaavy. Increase energy surge heal from 40 to per enemy got hit revert, so it's a reverted. From 40 to 60, 140 per enemy got hit, so 140, it's 3. Big heals. Oh, he's gonna love that. It affects minions, yep. So it sustains the wave. That's pretty sick. I mean, at least I used to. Maybe with HP 5 they changed it and forgot to mention. It could be a thing. Increased magical power scaling on Baron's 1. 60 to 7%. Helps his late game. 69 to 80.5 when hitting both beams. Nice. That's good. I like those changes. A little bit more damage on Baron. No, I don't like Baron. Increased base damage of Fenrir buff, bro. He's been eating this for so long. So starting off 85 to 325, so 10 across the board if I'm not mistaken. Small change. Increased movement speed buff from 50 to 75%. So Ragnarok, you're running around the map full speed. Small changes won't bring him up that much in the tiers, but definitely helps a bit. Hachiman buff. Increased bonus damage from under 55 range to 10 to 15, 20, 25, and over 55 range from 0 to 15. Have both been increased to 10 to 30. 5 at the end. No, it starts increasing at the 3rd tier. This ability now deals the same amount of damage at all ranges. OP. That's a huge change. Because now it does this even at this range. So 30 plus damage on those range autos are huge. Big buff. Big buff. Low key. Something for you guys to keep note of. I think Hachiman is going to really appreciate that. Increase physical power scaling 40-45%. Omega lol. Increase the max range of this lead from 55 to 65 units. This helps a bit. Cyrus still kind of doo-doo. Sir Kev, my girl. Increase the physical power scaling from 650 to 70%. I like this because ambush is always used as an escape. And now it'll be used more as a damage ability as you scale into the late game. Decrease the cooldown on Cobra Kiss from 18 to 60 seconds. That's huge. Nicer cat changes. And a Vamana. Decrease the movement penalty for attacking, backpedaling, and strafing at 20% while his ability is active. Why don't you just give him haste and fatalis on his ult? Might as well, Kappa. Alright, so Vamana buff. Let's just do a quick review. We got it all done. Vamana buff. Serket buff. Osiris tiny buff. Hachiman big buff. Fenrir small buff. Baron small damage buff. Artsaavy small sustain buff. Ares insane healing HP 5 buff on the 2. 2 tweaks to both OG hunters on their movement. Higher than Nemean small nerf. Emperor's small buff. Glad OP buff. Silver small nerf. Atlantis small nerf. And we're all caught up with the Loki. Hope you guys appreciated this video. Love you, YouTube. Drop comments below for anything that you guys want change. And I love you guys on Twitch. You guys know that. Boom. We're in it. Let's get it.